Welcome, colleagues, principals, teachers, friends. Welcome to part 3 of this series. Today we will be covering 2 objectives. The first objective is I will be briefing you on the Teachers Language Arts Integration Guide that you will be using to develop your lessons. The second objective, we will be developing a lesson plan, but we will only be looking at the preliminary data that should be entered in that lesson plan. But first, let's begin with the Teachers Language Arts Integration Guide. This Teachers Language Arts Integration Guide was developed utilizing the Language Tree textbook. It was adapted from the scope and sequence within the Language Arts textbook, taking in consideration the national curriculum. So the targets within the national curriculum was merged with the components within the Language Tree textbook, and we created this Language Arts Integration Guide. Reading assignments should be based on curriculum themes. As you can see here, I have a Lucky Escape, and this can be related to tourist destination, the first theme within the grade 5 curriculum. Let's begin. As you can see, I have decoding and word recognition and vocabulary building as the first column. As I said before in part 1 and part 2A and B, the reading assignment is used as the vehicle to transport the components within the language arts lesson. So, the decoding and word recognition and vocabulary building, the components are used and developed in each lesson. So we have decoding and word recognition, so that will be the first lesson. And of course, the reading assignment is integrated in all of the components. We have listening and speaking, and as I said before, the reading assignment is integrated into that component. And then we have grammar and mechanics, and the reading assignment is integrated into that component, and so on. So you will utilize this as a framework for developing your lessons. And of course, this is just a draft, and the final draft will be sent to all schools. So of course, you can see here I have decoding words at grade level and words with silent letters. So this will be, of course, the first lesson that I will be developing in my integrated lesson plan. Let's continue. So of course we have Mrs. Edwards here, and the date, depending on how your lessons are spanned, but I'm going to have September 6th to 17th, 2021 as a two weeks span. And then for my reading assignment, it will be, as said before, a Lucky Escape, and you will enter the school name. Now the lesson duration can be in days or weeks. I'm including both. The grade 5 level will be the grade that we're working with. And if you remember the theme from grade 5, the first theme is tourist destination. Now you will be entering all of the resources that you will need to teach this lesson. And of course, I'll be entering my resources. So I have my resources there. Now you're going to enter the differentiated strategies that you will be using to meet the needs of your students. Now, in terms of the differentiated strategies, I want you to take in consideration that the strategies can be general. They do not have to be specific. So I have some general differentiated strategies here, matching exercises, using infographics and images, giving both spoken and written directions, color coding, completing puzzles to meet those students who need that additional help. My integrated activities, I'm going to be a bit general here. However, I want you to be specific when you are writing your lesson plans. I want you to be very specific. But I'm going to be a bit general. So I have social studies, math work, and I'm going to be a bit general, but I want you to be specific. Let me make that very clear. So I have map work, natural disasters, recording time, buoyancy, review, sink, and float. And of course, all of that can be related to a lucky escape, which is related to the tourist destination curriculum theme. And you can also include integrated activities from your tourist destination curriculum web. And that would be the web that you would create for your curriculum theme. Now let's move on. We'll be creating now, or not necessarily creating, but entering the objectives for this lesson. Now, of course, I am looking at my language arts curriculum grade 5, and I'm looking at the teacher's integration, language integration guide, and I am drawing on the targets that are related to coding and word recognition, and I have decided to use these targets. Okay, so I have my 2 targets there. Now I'm going to enter my specific objectives. And remember that your specific objectives should be developed taking in consideration the ABCD method. So you can see my specific objectives are added. So I have at the end of the lesson, students will decode at least 5 words and develop meaning of keywords in the text with no more than 2 errors. So you can see that the audience coming out, which will be the A, the behavior coming out, you will see the condition and the degree. So that concludes the preliminary data that will be entered at the beginning of your lesson plan. Please click part 4 of this series. See you soon.